You're buying a house and everybody's really anxious to get the keys and start moving in, right? But you can't because this hasn't happened yet. Hey everybody, and welcome into the Real Estate Minute Show. Thanks for giving us 2 seconds of your time today to learn about a little tidbit in real estate you may not know before, which may help save you time and money later on. When you buy a home, you go through your inspections. You see all our previous episodes. I've talked to you about inspections, title report, things to review, things to be aware of, okay? You've gotten down to the point where you're getting ready to close. Your lender has sent in their money or you've sent in all of your money. And escrow says, I have everything I need and we're going to be ready to record the deed. What does that mean? What does recording the deed mean? Well, here's what it means. Here's a deed. Okay, this is something you probably may have seen before, but this is a deed where it essentially transfers the ownership of one home from some person to you as the buyer of the house, okay? The seller signs this. When you're buying a house, all those documents you get in envelopes that drive you nuts. The seller's got the same stack of documents, okay? And they also have this in there, which you don't, which is essentially the deed that says, I'm going to sell my property to them when all the money is in and all these conditions are met. But that last day, okay, escrow has all the money. You hear about 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon, your agent calls you, okay, and says that everything's good. We're ready to record tomorrow. What does recording mean? What does all that mean, okay? And a lot of people don't know what that means, and that's totally fine because that's not your business, all right? You just want the keys to your house. You can move on with your life. Here's what that means. That means that this actual document here, okay, in most states, they have something called, most counties, there is something called a registrar's office or county clerk. Or recorder's office. They go by different names. And they allow for in-person mail sometimes and a lot of electronic lately because of COVID. But the title company takes this deed from escrow. They used to do this, and they still do in a lot of cases when COVID's not around. They actually take a whole stack of these that are people selling their properties, and some guy drives them over to the county recorder's office, stands in line and waits with a bunch of checks, okay, to record these. And he gives them to a human being on the other end of a counter who looks at it, makes sure it's in proper form, and they stamp it, okay? And you get something that looks like that as a stamped copy, and they record it into the recorder's office, okay? Then after they're all done, they radio back to the title company that says, all's good, the deed was good, it was recorded. And then the title company calls escrow and says, all good, deed's recorded. And then escrow informs usually the agents or the parties that says that it's all recorded. What does that mean, recorded? All that means now is you actually legally now own the home and everyone in the world is on notice of that. Okay, that's what that means. And all the escrow instructions and documents that you were signing say that until that's recorded, okay, you don't legally get possession of the house. So it may be frustrating that last day when you hear from escrow about 3, 4 o'clock the day before that escrow's closed and we're ready to go. A lot of buyers get frustrated and say, well, when can I get the keys? When can I get the keys? You can't get the keys until they get this, okay? Confirmation that it has been recorded with the county recorder's office. There is a very human effect to this stuff. This deed is actually recorded with a human being into the county recorder's office, okay? And that human process has errors to it sometimes and takes some time, and that's why you don't really find out until early morning, early afternoon of that next day that you actually get the keys and own the house. All right, that's the process, and I hope that makes sense. We'll see you next week on the Real Estate Minute Show. We'll try to mix it up a little bit. Next week or the week after, we're going to have another grab bag episode where we collect questions from people that write in, like we did on one of the first grab bag episodes a few months ago. So we're going to do that again because a lot of people like that, to hear about 3 or 4 questions that other watchers and listeners like you had. All right, have a great week. Take care, guys.